Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a thought-provoking topic, 10 compelling reasons to embrace atheism. It's about exploring a different perspective, one grounded in reason, evidence, and the human experience. Just as we explore the cosmos with telescopes, we're going to use the telescope of logic and critical thinking to examine the very foundation of belief itself. So, whether you're a devout believer, a skeptic, or somewhere in between, buckle up. This intellectual adventure is for anyone who's ever looked up at the night sky and pondered the big questions about existence, purpose, and the universe we find ourselves in. Let's explore these reasons together. The beauty of atheism lies in its embrace of critical thinking. See, the universe doesn't come with a user manual. We've got to figure things out ourselves, question assumptions, and demand evidence. That's the bedrock of science, and it's a principle we can apply to all aspects of life, including our beliefs. Atheism encourages us to be skeptical, not in a cynical way, but in a healthy, inquisitive way. It's about not accepting things blindly, but rather seeking understanding. When we approach the world with open minds and a thirst for knowledge, we empower ourselves to form our own conclusions based on reason and evidence. Think about it. We test the strength of bridges before we drive across them, right? We don't just assume they'll hold our weight. Similarly, questioning our beliefs, testing their validity, ensures we're not building our lives on shaky foundations. This isn't about disrespecting anyone's faith. It's about recognizing that blind faith can sometimes lead us down paths that aren't supported by evidence or logic. Now let's talk about science, our most reliable tool for understanding the universe and our place in it. Science thrives on observation, experimentation, and the constant refinement of knowledge. It's a framework built on evidence, not on faith or dogma. And you know what? Atheism aligns beautifully with this scientific worldview. It encourages us to see the universe as it is, not as we wish it to be. It urges us to embrace the wonder of discovery, the thrill of unraveling the mysteries of the cosmos. Think about the vastness of space, the intricate workings of the human body, the incredible diversity of life on Earth. These phenomena are best understood through the lens of science, through observation and experimentation. Atheism doesn't shy away from the big questions about the origin of the universe, the nature of consciousness, or the search for extraterrestrial life. In fact, it embraces these questions, encouraging us to seek answers through scientific inquiry. One of the most liberating aspects of atheism is the freedom it offers from religious dogma. Dogma, by its very nature, is rigid and inflexible. It often dictates what to think, how to behave, and even what questions to ask. But atheism liberates us from these constraints. It empowers us to form our own beliefs, to define our own values, and to live according to our own conscience. It's about recognizing that we are all individuals, capable of independent thought and moral reasoning. Think about it. If we're constantly told what to believe, how can we truly own our beliefs? How can we develop our own sense of morality, our own understanding of right and wrong? Atheism encourages us to question everything, to challenge dogma, and to think for ourselves. It's about breaking free from the shackles of blind faith and embracing the freedom of intellectual exploration. Chapter 4. Ethical Living. Now, some might argue that without religion there's no basis for morality. But I'd argue the opposite. Atheism compels us to find a deeper, more fundamental basis for ethical living. It's not about following a set of rules out of fear of punishment or hope for reward. It's about recognizing our shared humanity and acting with compassion, empathy, and reason. We don't need a divine being to tell us that murder is wrong, that stealing is wrong, that treating others with kindness and respect is right. These are principles that arise from our shared human experience, from our understanding of empathy, and the consequences of our actions. In fact, I'd argue that ethical living based on reason and empathy is far more robust than one based solely on religious doctrine. Chapter 5. Personal Autonomy. One of the most empowering aspects of atheism is the emphasis it places on personal autonomy. We are each the authors of our own lives, free to make our own choices, to define our own values, and to pursue our own paths. We don't need a higher power to tell us what to do, how to live, or what to believe. We have the capacity for reason, for critical thinking, and for making decisions that align with our own values and aspirations. This doesn't mean we disregard the wisdom of others or the importance of community. It simply means we recognize that ultimately, we are responsible for our own lives, our own choices, and our own happiness. It's about embracing the freedom to chart our own course, to make mistakes, to learn from our experiences, and to grow as individuals. Chapter 6. Acceptance of Diversity. Now let's talk about diversity, the beautiful tapestry of cultures, beliefs, and perspectives that make up our world. Atheism, by its very nature, promotes acceptance and understanding in the face of this diversity. Without the constraints of a single rigid belief system, we're free to appreciate the richness and complexity of human experience in all its forms. We can engage with different cultures, explore different philosophies, and learn from those with different perspectives. Atheism encourages us to approach these differences with curiosity and respect, recognizing that there are many ways of seeing the world. It's about embracing the idea that we can learn from one another, that our differences can enrich our understanding, and that a more compassionate and just world is one that values diversity in all its forms. Chapter 7. Focus on the present. One of the most profound aspects of atheism is the emphasis it places on living a fulfilling life in the present moment. Without the promise of an afterlife, we're free to fully embrace the beauty, the wonder, and the preciousness of this life right here, right now. We don't need to spend our lives preparing for some distant future reward or fearing some eternal punishment. We can focus on making the most of the time we have, on cultivating meaningful relationships, pursuing our passions, and leaving a positive impact on the world. Think about it. If this is our one shot at existence, shouldn't we make it count? Atheism encourages us to live with a sense of urgency, to embrace the present moment, and to make the most of this incredible journey we call life. Now let's talk about responsibility, the idea that we are accountable for our actions and their consequences. Atheism, without the crutch of divine intervention or predestination, places this responsibility squarely on our shoulders. We can't blame a higher power for our mistakes, nor can we expect divine intervention to solve our problems. We are the agents of our own destiny, responsible for the choices we make and the impact those choices have on ourselves and the world around us. This might seem daunting at first, but it's also incredibly empowering. It means we have the power to shape our own lives, to learn from our mistakes, and to make amends for our wrongdoings. One of the most admirable qualities we can cultivate as human beings is intellectual honesty, the willingness to examine our beliefs, to challenge our assumptions, and to change our minds in the face of new evidence. Atheism, by its very nature, encourages this kind of intellectual humility. It's about recognizing that we don't have all the answers, that our understanding of the universe is constantly evolving, and that being wrong is simply an opportunity to learn and grow. Think about it. Throughout history, some of our greatest scientific advancements have come from challenging long-held beliefs and embracing new ways of seeing the world. Atheism encourages us to approach the world with open minds, to be willing to admit when we're wrong, and to constantly seek out new knowledge and understanding. So, let's celebrate the power of intellectual honesty, the courage to question, and the humility to admit when we're wrong. Now, some might think that atheism leads to isolation, a lack of community or shared purpose. But that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, there's a vibrant and growing community of atheists, humanists, and freethinkers all over the world who find connection and support in shared values of reason, compassion, and a commitment to making the world a better place. From online forums and local meetups to secular charities and organizations, there are countless ways to connect with like-minded individuals who share a passion for science, critical thinking, and ethical living. Think about it. We're all in this together, sharing this one precious planet and this one incredible journey we call life. So there you have it. 10 compelling reasons to consider the atheist perspective. Remember, this isn't about attacking anyone's faith, it's about encouraging critical thinking, scientific literacy, and a compassionate, ethical approach to life. If this video has sparked your curiosity, if it's made you question, ponder, or simply see the world in a new light, then it's done its job. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.